Hello my juicy peaches and welcome back to my channel. My name is Priestess Peaches, aka Jackie Lane from yourpeachylife.com. I mostly support ambitious women in long-term relationships with love, pleasure, well-being and business. And in today's video, I am going to be sharing with you some feminine energy superpowers to reignite his love and magnetism for you if you are in a long-term relationship. So when your man, or when a man is in his empowered masculine energy, you can consistently feel his forward moving energy coming towards you and his supportive energy supporting you. And you feel that even if you have time apart, you can still feel that forward moving energy coming towards you and his supportive energy supporting you. So if you've not been feeling like his top priority and you've not been experiencing much intimacy together, not just sexually, but intimacy on all the levels, if there is a distance between you that you're sensing, a disconnect, if he doesn't pay you as much attention as he used to, if it feels like everything in the relationship is always on you and you feel like you're carrying the weight of the relationship, if you're moving and pulling the relationship along and doing all the heavy lifting in the relationship, like the planning, organizing things, coming up with solutions, coming up with ideas, doing things for him that you don't really want to have to do, and if you feel like you're dragging him along or pushing him along, if you keep wishing that he was different and you keep wanting to change him, if you're tired and you feel resentful, if you don't have much quality time together anymore, and if you've been thinking about couples counselling, but you know he might not be up for that, or it just doesn't sit right with you, or maybe you've been going to couples counselling and it's been helping in some ways, but it's not really moving things along, and it feels like you're spinning your wheels. Or if you're just wanting to learn about a more empowered feminine approach to your relationship, then this video will be great for you. So often women think that having workshop-y type conversations, workshopping the relationship is going to be the answer. And workshopping the relationship looks like having long, drawn-out conversations about all the things that are going wrong, all the things that need to change, all the things you're not happy about, all the negative feelings that you're feeling, all the things he needs to do, all the things that need to shift in the relationship. And if you're having these types of conversations, it's likely that that is probably not resulting in the outcome you want. In my experience, it can push a man away when you are workshopping the relationship. This isn't about not expressing all these things, it's about the way you express it, the energy you're in when you express, and the way that you communicate. That will make all the difference in how you feel, how he feels, the dynamic, the magnetism between you, and the outcome. It's really in the small daily shifts, moment to moment, where you're most likely to reignite the magnetism and attraction that he has towards you. And it's in the way that you respond from there, and you get to keep responding. Your empowered feminine energy attracts his empowered masculine energy. And so you want to be in your empowered feminine energy, not just your feminine energy. This is about your empowered feminine energy, which requires your inner supportive masculine energy. And this is going to attract his empowered masculine energy to reignite and to come towards you and support you. This is not about manipulation. The things that I'm going to share are not to be used as manipulation tools. It's all about being completely honest and open and authentic and conscious in the way that you communicate and the energy that you're in. It's about doing your own inner work, the inner work of the empowered feminine, so that when you are expressing with him, you are in your most empowered space. And this is about being considerate of him, being considerate of yourself, and being considerate of what is most beneficial between you. So I'm going to share with you 10 things to stop doing, and then I'm going to go into your empowered feminine superpowers and what things you can start implementing to shift the dynamic between you and reignite his love and magnetism towards you. So I've already spoken about the first one, and this is workshopping the relationship. So this is those long drawn out conversations about all the things that are going wrong, all the things that need to improve, all the things that need changing, all the ways that he needs to change, all the things that you're feeling that are negative, all the reasons why you're feeling them, and what he needs to do to fix it. These long drawn out conversations about all the reasons why you're unhappy are not going to inspire him. They're not going to inspire him because it causes him to feel like he cannot make you happy, he cannot please you. And men really need to feel like and know that they can make you happy. That is what inspires them. So when you're focused on all this negativity and you're having these long, drawn out, detailed conversations about all the bad things, it doesn't actually inspire him to change it or to fix it or to shift it. It just makes him feel worse. It makes him feel bad. It actually just deactivates his empowered masculine energy, and he's likely to go into either his wounded feminine energy or his wounded masculine energy. So workshopping the relationship is the first thing to stop doing. This is something that you have a habit of doing, like having these long conversations and keep mentioning all the negative things all the time and trying to make him change and trying to make him understand why this is wrong and that is wrong and this needs fixing. That kind of language, that kind of conversation, that way of communicating and the energy that you're in when you're in those conversations is going to shut down his empowered masculine energy. And that is not what we want. We want to inspire the empowered masculine energy. We want to ignite it, and we want to start experiencing his empowered masculine energy. Not the wounded feminine, not the wounded masculine in him. The truth is, these workshoppy conversations cause him to feel like he's not good enough for you, that he's not doing enough. Even if there's some truth in the him not doing enough thing, it will make him feel like he's not enough for you, and it will also cause him to not feel safe with you, and it will shut him down and close him off to you rather than it opening up his heart to you. So number 2 to stop doing is stop being the manager. Managing everything and taking everything on does not give him the space that the empowered masculine energy within him requires to step up and shine. So it will emasculate him, and it will cause him to feel like you don't trust him when you're managing everything. When you are being the manager, it will cause him to feel like you don't trust him to be the man in the relationship. And your trust, even though this is tricky, your trust in the empowered masculine energy that is within him will actually spark it to start stepping forth. And when you are behaving in the manager way, this is showing the empowered masculine energy you don't trust it. And you're actually taking up space in masculine energy when you are being the manager. So it's impossible for him to access his empowered masculine energy when you're taking up space in the masculine energy in the relationship all the time. And the thing is, when you are doing this dynamic, he'll very quickly get used to it. And it could cause him to go into his wounded feminine. And it could cause this dynamic to start playing out more and more, where he will just let you keep doing this. So it will start feeling like everything is on you because it's this conditioned behavior, and he will start to be conditioned by you being the manager. And it can take some time to unravel that dynamic if you've been in the manager mode. It can take some time for that dynamic to unravel so that he can start stepping into being more proactive, active in the relationship. But don't worry, it is possible. So number 3 is similar. It's micromanaging. So managing is doing all the things, planning, organizing, taking everything on, doing everything. And then micromanaging is about being controlling. It is about being a control freak and having to have everything done your way, and being a busybody and interfering and not letting him have the time and space he needs and his process and his way of doing things. When you start trying to control everything and telling him how to do things, giving him unsolicited advice, it's a form of criticizing to him, it's a form of wronging him, it's a form of shaming him. That is not going to inspire him. That is not going to inspire him. Again, he cannot access his empowered masculine energy when you are in this incessant masculine energy, trying to control everything, dictate everything, micromanage everything. And when you're taking up space in that forward moving energy, he can't be in his forward moving energy to come to you. He can't access his forward moving energy when you are taking up space in the forward moving energy, if that makes sense. And you also take away any chance there is of him stepping up and you being in that impatient control freak kind of space blocks his empowered masculine self, and he may even become lazy as a result, when he's not a lazy person in general, but he'll become lazy and complacent in the relationship when you are micromanaging all the time, because it's likely he'll just end up giving in, which is like his wounded feminine. He'll just give in and cater to you, or he'll just let you do it your way. And then again, you're taking everything on. No shade or shame here. We all do this. We all dip into the manager and the micromanager. It's not bad or wrong. Do not worry. It's something that you can shift, and it really does take the inner work of the empowered feminine in order to shift these patterns. And often underneath this masculine expression in you is the wounded feminine within you. It's coming from a space of like doubting, lacking trust. It's coming from a space of fear within. And these are wounded feminine aspects that you can work on to then shift the external masculine energy that you then go into. So number 4 is complaining, nagging, criticizing, blaming, shaming, wronging. And there's many ways that blaming, shaming, wronging, and criticizing show up. But yes, complaining, nagging, criticizing, blaming, shaming, wronging. Men truly do take most things as a criticism, and they're more sensitive than you may think. And so it's really important to find other ways of communicating and other ways of expressing yourself than staying in this wounded, complainy space. And hinting is another one. It's like hinting that something's bothering you, being passive aggressive about it, or just keep nagging and complaining and whining. And also when you do these things, you are wronging, you are pointing the finger, you are blaming, you are shaming him as well. And when you communicate in these ways, do you think he's going to feel inspired to do the things you want him to do right by you, to listen to you even? Do you think he's even going to want to listen to what you're saying when you are in that space, when you're communicating? And do you think that this way of expressing is going to cause magnetism or repelling between you? If you're in this whiny, complainy, naggy space, criticizing, is that going to cause the magnetism, or is it repelling? Is it repelling you? There's far more empowered ways to express yourself than in these ways. And hinting is another one, like I said, because hinting, he will not get the hint. Men need you to tell it to them straight, to have clarity and to have conviction around what you're saying, and to be in your empowered feminine energy and use empowered feminine communication tools when you say it. But inside you, you need to have clarity. Men really bode well with clear, concise sentences, not little hints, because hinting is like, it's manipulating, it's manipulative, and it's passive aggressive. You won't get what you want if you're hinting, and if you're nagging and complaining and criticizing and blaming, shaming and wronging. It's not going to bring you what you want. And if it does, it's going to come from a wound within him. It's not going to come from his empowered masculine energy, and you're going to feel that. It won't inspire him to close the gap between you and be magnetized to you. He might do the damn thing, but there's going to be more distance between you, rather than him closing the gap between you and truly honoring you and truly honoring the relationship. There's a big difference between him doing things out of obligation and then creating more distance, than him doing things because he truly wants to, and because he feels like he can win by doing that, and because he feels good, and because it creates connection. There's a big difference. So number 5 is picking up the slack and doing things for him, doing things that you wish he would do, or doing things that you've asked him to do a number of times. You picking up the slack for him and doing it for him. this will only cause you to feel hard done by. And I know so many women are like, but if I don't do it, it won't get done. But trust me, there's ways that you can express, because I'm sure that the energy that you've been in and the way you've been communicating has been causing a difficult dynamic there. So you don't need to pick up the slack for him. And this is also, there can be exceptions if you've had an empowered conversation and communication, and there's certain things that he's just not capable of at that time. Like maybe he's got a really hectic project on at work and there's certain things that are just falling by the wayside. But it's about the way you communicate and coming to win-win situations between you. So yeah, there's some times where he might not be able to do the things that he said he would do because he thought he would, but now he can't because of this, this, and this. And then it's just about communicating that. But I'm talking if there's a general dynamic where you find yourself picking up the slack for him and then feeling hard done by and resentful, then there are ways that you can express and ways that you can be and ways you can operate and function in the relationship that will shift that dynamic round and do a 180. Number 6 is to not bargain with your attention, with intimacy and sex, because this is really a form of manipulation and punishment, and it's not the way to connect with his heart. It is not authentic. It is manipulative and it is punishing for him. And you want to be able to truly connect with his heart, and using these things as bargaining tools is creating a very toxic dynamic between you, and it's causing a toxic sexual dynamic between you and within yourself as well. And it's really, really important to not use your sexuality or manipulate with your feminine energy, and to manipulate and punish with intimacy and attention, because that is going to cause wounding across the board for you and him, and it's really, really toxic, and it will cause issues in your sex life in general as well by doing that. And this is not what you want. Trust me, it's not what you want. It's no way to connect with his heart, to create magnetism, to ignite that spark between you. It's no way to get what you want, because you're not really getting what you want. You are using yourself. You are using yourself, and you are crossing your own boundaries by doing this. And there's a very toxic dynamic underneath that will play out in your sex life and what intimacy and sexual expression look like with both of you. And it's not going to be nice. It's not going to be what you really want. It's not going to be truly fulfilling, satisfying. It's not going to be truly loving and empowered or beneficial for either of you to do this. So if you have fallen into these patterns of using your body, using sex, using intimacy, using your attention as a bargaining tool, this is something, again, you can decondition within yourself. And again, no shame or shade. Like, women have been taught this from a very young age, to use our sexuality and our attention as a manipulation tool. And so, yeah, it's really important to undo that conditioning, so that you're not bringing that to your relationship with your man. Because, yeah, you might get what you want, but it will never truly feel good. It will never truly be what you really want. And actually, the relationship will probably start breaking down because of this, because that distance is going to be greater the more that you manipulate with your feminine energy, and the more you're inauthentic and not honest, and you're not truly expressing yourself. It is an immature way of behaving, and that immaturity the empowered masculine in him is not going to be attracted to that. And your empowered feminine won't be able to shine when you are letting yourself dip into these really toxic, wounded ways of being. And it's not truly beneficial for you, because you want to be as empowered as you can be, because that is what is most beneficial for you. That is what is going to make you thrive. That is what will make your relationship thrive as well. So number 8 is to not feed his ego when it's not authentic to you, in the hopes that if you feed his ego, he's going to love you more and he's going to change, or he's going to step up and do the things that you want him to do. Because again, this is a form of manipulation. It won't work. The empowered masculine energy will not require you to inflate his ego when it's not authentic to you. to inflate his ego, to be attracted to you. The empowered masculine doesn't require you to inflate his ego in order to be attracted to you and magnetized to you and want to express in his empowered masculine self with you. Therefore, if you want to inspire his empowered masculine energy, then you really mustn't do this. And the key, like I said, is authenticity. This is your top feminine energy superpower that I'm going to be going into in a bit. But authenticity is key. Authentic self-expression is key. If there's stuff that you really do love about him and that you are turned on by him and all the goodness that you see in him, then by all means go ahead and share. But if you are trying to inflate his ego and massage his ego as a manipulation tactic to get what you want, that's not going to work, my lovely. That does not inspire true empowered masculine energy. And you want his true empowered masculine energy. You don't want his wounds to step forward, because they can be toxic and manipulative to you, and you don't want to create that dynamic. So yes, I'm just looking at my notes as always as I'm speaking about all these things. So number 9 is to stop coming up with solutions and suggestions and ways of fixing things or doing things. So of course we all know you're capable and you've got the best ideas and that your way is probably the better way. And according to you, that's the best way to do it. But when you are in this space of thinking you're more capable than him and you're not seeing him as capable, you're not seeing him in his power, you're not seeing him as the king and the god, you're not seeing him for who he really is, for his empowered masculine energy that is within him. And when you're not seeing that, it shuts it down within him. It's not about you not being capable. It's about letting him be capable and seeing how he is capable and allowing him to do things his way, allowing him to come into his thinking space and come up with a solution or the suggestion. And there's ways that you can do this, and it's tricky. I've worked with women who are very much in their masculine energy in the relationship, and this one can be tricky. They're like, oh, I just want to, it's that control freak thing again, micromanaging. But it's more than that. It's letting him come up with the solutions, and it actually requires you to do a lot more leaning back. And initially this can be counterintuitive. But yeah, it's all about communication again and allowing him the time and space for him to go into his thinking space to come up with the solution, because he will want to fix it. And if you keep going in with your solutions and suggestions and Mrs. Fix-It hat, he will never be able to put that hat on because it's always on you. And that's not what you want. You want him to be the man. You want him to start coming up with suggestions, solutions, fixing things, making things better. You want him to be organizing, planning, following through on the things he says. So you need to let him wear that hat. You've got to take it off, my lovely. So here's the shifts that you need to step into your empowered feminine superpower energy. And these are the things that are your empowered feminine superpowers. So I'm just going to run through a basic list of them and then I'm going to go into more detail. So authenticity, boundaries, empowered feminine communication, self-validation, your feminine energy, your pleasure power, your trust, respect, and your patience. And then the things I'm about to share with you have all of these in them. So the first thing is your authenticity. Being 100% honest with yourself and with him is the key. Not holding things in and grappling things inside yourself. Being 100% honest and authentic about things is truly your main feminine energy superpower. The more honest and open and authentic you can be with him, the more his masculine energy, his empowered masculine energy will be magnetized to you. Even if it's tricky, even if it's difficult, even if it's horrible to be authentic and honest and open, this is truly your top feminine energy superpower, empowered feminine energy superpower. So if there's something bothering you, express it. If there's something that you don't feel good about, express it. If there's something going on in your world that is affecting your relationship with him, express it. And also express all the good things too. It's about being authentic and expressing the good things as well. So the next one is the boundaries, and this includes your standards, requirements, your needs, your values, and also things that you're not willing to tolerate, things that you are willing to tolerate. And again, these things are about authenticity. And the thing is, your boundaries and standards and things like that, and your needs and values, they may change and develop or grow or shift as you continue into the relationship over the years. These things change. So it's important to consistently be expressing them, consistently be checking in with yourself. And you'll know if something is crossing your boundary because it won't feel good. You'll know if something like a standard within you has shifted or lifted, or you've raised a standard with something and the relationship isn't meeting that, or he's not meeting that standard. You'll know because it will feel off. It won't feel good. You'll know if your needs aren't being met because you will feel that within yourself. You'll feel it emotionally. You'll feel it within your body. You'll feel it within the dynamic. You'll be feeling heavy-hearted. You'll be feeling tired. You'll be feeling a distance between you both. These things are indications that you need to get clear on your standards, boundaries, requirements, needs, values, tolerations, and then express those with him. But also you want to wear these things, your boundaries, on the inside, so that you are coming from a space of standing firm within you, because you don't want to be going to him in a more kind of asking permission kind of way, seeking validation, seeking approval. You want to really, really honor your own standards and boundaries within yourself. So I always say, be like the peach when you are expressing your standards and boundaries, where you have the core, this firm, solid core of your new standards or your new boundaries or your needs or whatever. That's a strong core that you're standing firm in. And then you've got this like juicy middle, and then you're all soft and inviting on the outside. And that's how you communicate. You create a soft, inviting space where he can feel safe, and you have your firm core in the middle. And that's going to help you to express yourself in a much more empowered feminine way, where he's not going to feel blamed, wrong, shamed, any of that. It's going to inspire him. It's going to ignite him. He's going to be wanting to meet your need, meet your standard, meet your boundaries. And it's very different than if you are, like I said before, going into that nagging, complaining, hinting space, wronging, criticizing, pointing the finger, blaming and shaming. Completely different way of communicating. So the next piece that I'm going to speak about, your empowered feminine superpower, is empowered feminine communication skills. And I have a 10-step empowered feminine communication formula that I teach in my online course, my 4-module online course, Inspire the Empowered Masculine. I go into detail and break down every single step about how to communicate in a way that is going to create connection, magnetism, that is going to be most beneficial for you and for him, that's going to feel the best for you, that's going to give the best chance for a empowered and beneficial outcome, and for him to feel good as well, because that's what we want. We don't want to be manipulating. We don't want to be shutting him down. We don't want to be causing a distance. We are wanting to connect your hearts again. One of the keys to empowered feminine communication skills is to express from your feeling space, to keep the focus on you and your feelings, like your literal feelings emotionally and feelings in your body, rather than pointing the finger at him or saying something about him. It's about focusing the attention and focus onto your feeling space. Your feeling space is your feminine energy, and it will activate his masculine thinking space, which is what we want. We want him to come up with the solutions. We want him to step forward. We want him in his empowered masculine, forward-moving and supportive energy. So you remaining in your feeling space rather than dictating, telling, explaining, trying to make him understand, or doing things for him. You being in your feminine energy is going to attract his masculine energy, and that is what we want. And again, this is absolutely nothing to do with manipulation. This isn't about pretending. This isn't about trying to get a certain outcome. This isn't about an agenda. You really need to not come with an agenda. It is simply about expressing your truth, your authentic truth, in a way that he can hear and in a way that he can respond well to. It's not about trying to make something happen or trying to change him. It's about you expressing your truth in your feminine energy and then observing and seeing what he does with that. It's not about trying to get a certain result from him. And that is a mistake that a lot of women make when they come into this work around the masculine and feminine. They can start using these things as a manipulation tool and then not have the outcomes, not have beneficial outcomes, not be in their empowered feminine energy and then say it doesn't work, or they can just be in this wounded manipulation dynamic that creates a lot of toxicity in their relationships and in the world. And so, yeah, this is not about manipulation. You express your truth because it's your truth and you do it for you. You're not doing it to get something from him. You are doing it without agenda. You are doing it just to share with him your truth. And obviously, if you're in a long-term relationship, then it's likely that your man loves you. And when you're expressing in this empowered feminine way, then he'll be able to hear you and he'll be inspired and want to make you happy and please you and create win-wins. The empowered masculine is always seeking to create win-wins. And the empowered masculine won't tolerate the wounded, lower energies. It won't tolerate manipulation. So it won't work if you are wanting to inspire his empowered masculine to manipulate him with these communication tools. That is not why I teach these tools. And I really advise all women, if you do my course, do not use these tools to try and manipulate, because you won't get what you want. It won't feel good. And you're only going to inspire the wounds within the men that you're doing that to. And it's really not worth it. So yeah, please don't do that. Also, communicating in this way really helps you to get to know yourself. It helps you to feel confident in yourself. It helps you to feel trusting in yourself and the relationship. You learn how to self-validate. You get to know your needs and desires. You get to be authentic with yourself as well. And you have this inner strength and inner core. That firm inner core just becomes so strong within you. And that feels so good. And you become more and more trusting of your love for each other and your relationship and of your man, but also more and more trusting of yourself, because you can trust yourself to speak out for yourself. You can trust yourself that you have the tools and the wisdom and the secrets to empowered feminine living, and it feels really good. So you don't want to be like a prickly pineapple or a cactus with spikes on the outside, or like these horrible walls up, defensive walls up around you. You want to wear your standards and boundaries and all of that on the inside, like I said before, so that when you are communicating, you're in this soft, inviting space, like a juicy peach. When you see a ripe, juicy peach, you want to take a bite, and it's got this lovely, juicy middle, and then it's got this firm core, the stone of the peach. That firm core, like I said before, it causes you to feel very empowered within yourself. And once you know how to create the environment for him to feel safe, for him to be able to come towards you, then the whole dynamic in your relationship will start to shift. It will allow him to come up with the solutions and suggestions. He will feel like a man again. He will feel like you trust him, like you respect him. That is going to make him want to be close with you. That's going to make him want to listen to what you have to say. That's going to cause him to want to be with you. He's going to feel magnetized towards you. He's going to feel attracted to you. He's going to want you to be his top priority. That's what these things do. So the next one is very misunderstood, but it's all about practicing leaning back. Leaning back is not passive, okay? So leaning back is not about never initiating connection, and it's not about not expressing your desires, not at all. Like, once you've expressed yourself, then it's about leaning back. And leaning back can be a tool you use when you are feeling needy within yourself, where you're feeling anxious and needy and things like that. You can use the leaning back tool. It is not passive. Leaning back is a process to implement when you want to inspire his forward moving energy. And it takes a lot of self-validation and inner work, all the things I'm speaking about. It takes trusting in your standards and boundaries. It takes validating yourself 100%, getting behind yourself in order for you to lean back and take your energy off him and off what he is or isn't doing. Peel your energy off him, lean back, so that you can create energetic space, which the empowered masculine energy needs, for him to be able to lean towards you and to come towards you and support you. So if you are constantly in the forward moving energy, it's going to push him away. If you're leaning back, it's going to inspire him to come to you. So this is the magic of leaning back, the leaning back tool. The next one is fill your cup up, my lovely. Fill your cup up. You cannot be giving from an empty cup. You must fill your cup up. Take your energy and focus off of him, whether he is or isn't doing things you want him to do or not, whatever it is, whatever it looks like. Take your energy and focus off him and put the energy and focus onto you so that you can nourish yourself fully. This is so magnetic to a man when you are nourishing yourself, when you are pleasing yourself, when you are good in your own energy, when you enjoy your own company and your own energy, and you're not relying on him, and you're not like waiting for him, or you're not dictating to him. When your energy is off him and on you, he can breathe and become the man he is meant to be for you. When you're constantly smothering him with your energy, he can't do that. So filling up your cup is a really great way to take your energy off. So he's not an entire village, right? So we expect from one person these days what an entire village of people used to give us. We expect so much of just one person, and having that expectation on him all the time is going to shut him down, and it's going to deactivate the magnetism between you. It's going to cause him to feel so much pressure. So you really need to have like a network of friends. You need to have hobbies, other interests, passions. You need to be looking after your body, your physical body, your mental body, your emotional body, your spiritual body, your sexual body. You really need to be creating multiple streams of income for yourself. And this isn't about like not needing a man. It's quite the opposite, really. It's about being interdependent and just peeling your energy off him and filling up your cup so that you are coming with a full buffet for sharing and not a beggar's bowl to him. You need to fill up your cup so that you don't come to him with a beggar's bowl where you're expecting him to fill your cup up. You're expecting him to make you happy. You're expecting everything from him, what a whole village used to provide. So when you fill your cup up, it's really great because you'll get to know your pleasure compass, which is something I teach. And you're not going to be solely reliant or dependent on him for your sense of self, for your happiness, for your fulfillment, satisfaction in life, and your own validation of yourself. You don't want your man to become your source of happiness and your only source of happiness and validation. So it's really important to fill your cup up. So all the things I've been sharing about really help to create a soft, inviting space for him. And that's what you want. You want to be creating an environment where he feels safe to come to you, like I said before, where he is naturally and organically compelled and magnetized to come to you. And when you've created a soft, inviting space, it invites him into it. You're like a muse. You're like his inspiration. You're like the invitation to him. And he won't be able to resist that because his empowered masculine energy is just organically, naturally magnetized to your empowered feminine energy. And when there's this open, receptive, soft, inviting space, which takes inner work to create that. It's not like always easy to be in that space, far from it. But when you've created that environment, he will be able to easily come to you and you will be receptive to him and you'll be able to feel his forward moving energy. You'll be able to experience his supportive masculine energy in your life again. And it is intoxicating and nourishing and deeply fulfilling when that dynamic is playing out in your relationship. It feels so good. It is the most empowered and beneficial dynamic between you both. And that's what we're looking for here. That's what we are intentionally creating. So the next one is about trusting the process, having patience, having faith. So this is the patience piece I was speaking about earlier. Having patience, faith, the inner work of the empowered feminine, your own inner supportive masculine, activating your own inner supportive masculine. And these will all aid you in trusting the process. And then being the lighthouse, which is again about your authentic self-expression, communication. Your authentic self-expression is the light of the lighthouse. The body of the lighthouse is your inner supportive masculine. It's that clear, clarity, confidence, conviction. It's all the C's. And then that unwavering energy within you, that standing firm energy within you, is the body of the lighthouse. And then that attracts his masculine energy to you. That means he can see your light, he can see and hear you, he can come into shore. You don't need to go into the ocean to go and get him. You don't need to go behind his boat to push him to you. You don't need to try and manipulate him into seeing your light. You don't need to run up and down the shore to try and frantically wave and try and get his attention and attention seek. You need to stand firm and shine your light so that his empowered masculine energy, that boat of his empowered masculine energy, so to speak, can come to you. So once you get used to this, once this becomes second nature to you, it'll be your way of operating within your relationship. And this dynamic, it means that this dynamic will be playing out most of the time. And then when new situations come up, you'll have the tools to navigate through those. And can I just say, it's not always the easiest thing. I still F up sometimes. I still can be incredibly wounded when triggers come up, when things that trigger past traumas come up, when there's situations and dynamics within your relationship that you're not sure how it's going to work out. It can be very confronting, and it can be very sensitive, and it can be very tender, and it can be very difficult sometimes to remain in this space. But once you have the tools and the know-how and all the things I'm speaking about, your empowered feminine superpowers, once you understand these things, then you will know you can trust yourself to be able to shift any wounded dynamic that's playing out, any triggers that are coming up, anything that's not working between you. And it really does start with you. And you really are a powerful influence in how things transpire in your relationship. And I'm not saying that there's nothing for him to do, but when you know you have been in your most empowered energy and you have expressed in the most empowered way you can, you know in your heart and soul you've done your part, then you know, that feels really good to know that within yourself, that you know that you have been your most empowered feminine self. And then it's about just observing and seeing what shifts, and then you can respond from there. And it's all about moment to moment, continual responding and expressing, responding and expressing. And this is what creates this dynamic between you, where he feels like he can close the gap, he can come to you, he can step up for you, he can please you, he can make you happy, he feels confident as well, he can be the man, he can be in his masculine energy, and that feels really good to both of you. So I just want to quickly share about my 4-module online course, Inspire the Empowered Masculine. This course is absolutely incredible. It speaks about the 8 masculine and feminine archetypes in module number 1. This really helps you to truly understand both the empowered and the wounded aspects of the masculine and feminine dynamic and how that shows up in your relationship. Module number 2 is all about the psychology of men, understanding your man. Module number 3 is all about empowered feminine communication and my 10-step empowered feminine communication formula. And module number 4 is all about your feminine energy and your pleasure power. So if this is something that you're really wanting to learn and you're really truly wanting to become your most empowered feminine self within your relationship, and you're really looking for ways to inspire his empowered masculine energy in ways that are not manipulative and not icky and not wounded or toxic or immature, this course is really incredible. These are things that I have learned through working with top relationship coaches and actually fully implementing and experimenting and exploring for myself and coming to my own way with these things. And I'm teaching that from my experience working with relationship coaches, but also my actual lived experience within my own relationship as well, and how it has completely transformed the way I show up and our communication with each other and the outcomes in the relationship. So if this is of interest to you, then the link for Inspire the Empowered Masculine is in the description box. You just have to click that link. It will take you through to my online course platform where you will be asked to set up your own sacred password to my online course platform, and then you'll be able to see all my online courses, and you'll be able to click Inspire the Empowered Masculine and purchase it from there so that you can receive this incredible information. Each week there are implementation tools, there's written exercises, as well as the pre-recorded information videos. And if you're wanting one-to-one support, then I'll leave the link in the description box where you can apply to work with me one-to-one as well. So thank you so much for watching this video and for getting through to the end. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. If you are still here watching it, let me know in the comments if there's any questions you have or any videos you want me to create for you. YouTube demonetized my account because I was inactive for so long, and so it really does help me and support me, and it just feels amazing when people subscribe to my channel, like and comment and share. Share this with anybody who is in a long-term relationship, any woman who is in a long-term relationship and is struggling with their dynamic right now. Please do share this video if you feel like it will help other women. Thank you so much for being here and being on this journey and having the willingness to learn and to be part of this movement. It really does mean the world to me personally, but I know that it is shifting the collective consciousness, and I know that it is going to be so beneficial for generations to come as each woman steps into her empowered feminine self. It contributes to a better world where men are in their empowered masculine and women are in their empowered feminine, and that just means so much to me personally. It's part of my purpose and why I'm here, and it's part of my service to you as well. So yeah, thank you for being here. I'm going to go now, so have an amazing day and remember to keep it juicy. Bye.